Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm excited to be joined again by my friend and business partner, Mr. Michael Vincent, podcaster extraordinaire, president of OPT USA, as well as working with me on fuel and emissions reduction with cyber fuels. So what's new with OPT these days?
Yeah, right. So we've spent the last week and a half um, getting the machine, our first microrecycling pod, right? So we make microrecycling pods that recycle all plastics, all type of plastics. They actually take the plastics, grind it, wash it, and then we dry it, and then we granulate it again. So you get fully processed plastic from source that's ready to go right back into industry at source. So could be on a factory floor, Andy, if you're running some sort of plastics, or you got bottles, packaging that gets refused on your factory floor, whatever it happens to be, can be reground and reprocessed, washed, everything go right back into production right there. It also is designed to go right to source so that we can get into that other 96% of plastics that aren't being recycled in the United States, right? If you go to somewhere like a MRF, you're going to find that all the plastics that they do process, people are buying. And that's because there's huge demand for it. The problem is, as good as they're doing and trying, they're only getting 4% of the plastics because we don't get it from the source, from either the post-consumer, post-industrial. And so that's what we're designed to do, is take that $20 million big micro or materials reclamation facility, and we've taken it all the way down to a 4-foot by 15-foot space. It can fit inside a 20-foot ocean containers, which we will outfit them with those for mobility, but they can also go right into your industrial floor, right on your factory floor, to get to source, to get it done right there and keep everything local, right? So we've got everything tweaked, and boy, I've learned a lot about armatures and torque drives and electronic torque drives and process and all that kind of stuff. It's really interesting, Andy. It's incredible how little you can do with zero torque.
It's always good to be learning. Always be learning, right?
Yeah, it reminded me of the Kia Rio I once rented to go across over to Charlotte, and I had to go through the mountains in the rain. It's like 10 years ago. Man, that thing could not get out of its own way. But we've got it done. So now what we've got is we've got PETG, which is kind of a film PET that we ran through. We've ran through HD PET bottles, etc. And we've got all our samples ready to go out to a couple of our customers and start rolling. So we're ready to start going and ready to start showing people that this thing works, and it is economical and works well in your business, and start taking orders on these micro recycling plants. A number of people waiting for this moment to happen, and here it is, me included, right? It's been 3 years to get to this point, designing and failing and designing and failing, etc., and finally getting to where we're at right now. So it's really cool stuff, dude. Very excited. What you can't see is that I'm a magician. If there's nobody else in this room, and that's because I've been out in a 95-degree warehouse since 6 o'clock this morning, working and grinding plastics and stuff like that. So hopefully I'm presentable.
You are very presentable, and you got a good workout at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. And I feel it every morning when I got out of bed. I go, God.
You were discovering muscles you didn't realize you still had.
Yeah, I knew being a founder and an entrepreneur is difficult, but this is ridiculous. My brain hurts, my body hurts, everything hurts. Even shoot fire.
Well,
I'm telling you.
congratulations. That's awesome.
Well, it's getting there, right? I mean, we're still on that, shoestring, trying to make sure we're still alive in 2 months type of thing like that. But this is the moment we were trying to get to, is like, here it is. It works. Here's the samples. I got films and everything I'm putting out there. Check out my LinkedIn as well. Putting out films of, hey, I even had my 80-year-old father-in-law, who's a 5-year POW from Vietnam.
Wow.
He's crunching plastics. It's about running a machine by himself. That's how easy it is. And it just crushes it, and it does a great job. So it's very cool. But
that's awesome. I love it.
Thanks for asking, dude. Free commercial. I appreciate it, my friend.
Well, and there's a common theme. We're helping companies make more money while going sustainable. That's
There you go.
right. And OPT is perfect example. Do it. It's
It's
here.
a
It's
great
ready.
partner with what is that other? Cyber fuels. That's the one.
Yeah, we're helping companies reduce fuel, reduce emissions, reduce plastics waste, make a better bottom line, right?
Yeah.
And so
Amen.
I love it. I mean, I love being able to help the planet while helping companies as well.
I
it's a
agree. I
win-win.
agree. And let me tell you, so I shot you this thing, and hopefully you saw the podcast from the Sustainiacs, my Sustainiacs podcast. But my friend, my new friend, about 6 months a friend now, is Matt Belcher, right? And I had him on for an hour, and he's got this company called Hemspan, Hemspan, over in the UK, across the pond, as they say, building sustainable uh, construction materials out of hemp, and partnering with others that do the same thing. And I get this newsletter, and I forwarded you the newsletter, my friend. They're got their seed round in. They've got 15 houses going up that are carbon negative from the manufacturing of all the materials that go into it, through the whole manufacturing process, and the existence and the sustaining of that household for energy needs, cooling needs, heating needs, all that stuff, carbon negative. It's amazing.
That is awesome. That is amazing.
I'm so happy that he's there at these. And let me tell you what, beautiful designs as well, my friend.
Yeah.
Really, really cool stuff. And
Yeah,
at the same time,
I saw your podcast with him some time ago, and
yeah,
it's fascinating. And I can imagine a lot of people are going to get behind that. I would think they
I
will.
would think. I mean, I forwarded
Yeah.
you the newsletter. You should subscribe, because I mean they could use the support and prove that people are interested. But they're beautiful homes. I mean, you're not talking. These things would look great over there on a little on a nice gentleman's ranch there in Oklahoma.
Put it
You
out
know
there
what I'm
on an
saying?
acreage.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. They're beautiful. I mean, they're beautiful, well designed stuff. And here's the thing, my friend, is they're partnering with the farmers, because this also is something near and dear to all Oklahomans' heart, is regenerative farming, right?
We
and,
love our
and
farmers. Oh, we
and
do.
crop
Yeah.
rotation. Crop
Crop
rotation
rotation is very important.
is key.
Absolutely.
And so that's what they do, is the materials they're using are hemp, and they can be used in the off season of growing to help with that crop rotation, right?
Absolutely.
It grows incredibly fast. You grow it, you harvest it, and then move it to the next fields and move on. So, and it's a highly sought after and valuable commodity now, is the hemp. As you well know, you use CBD, I use CBD. That's where it comes from, right? And now they're building houses and stuff like that. Our forefathers were building or making clothing and rope out of it and stuff like that. George Washington wasn't growing marijuana, pot, and getting high. He was growing hemp for rope and clothing.
That's right. Exactly.
Don't get
I
excited.
have
He wasn't a pot farmer.
I have some old injuries from wrestling and soccer, and I use the CBD cream. It doesn't have THC. It's the
Yeah.
CBD part,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
it's honestly the very best thing. Better than
No,
taking
it is. I take the gummies.
pills.
I take the gummies every day, because it is beautiful. For my knee injury, I got a back injury, an elbow injury. I got broken my knuckles from playing football. I mean, I played in the day where you led with your helmet. You were taught to lead with your helmet. Forearm shivers to the chest. That's what you did. Right? Everything you're not allowed to do now. That's how you were taught to play football back in the day, and I'm paying for it. But it certainly helps. Here's the other. You want to hear something else that's really cool about these things? So they're working with these farmers, and they got this acreage out there in the UK. And what I talked to Matt about, what they're moving towards, is these are carbon negative, right? These houses are carbon negative, so they're actually sequestering and pulling carbon out. Now, they're so efficient that a 2,000 house, which is what they're going for, 2,000 house community there, will be energy positive for the grid.
That's awesome. We've been hearing about brownouts and various calamities with the electrical infrastructure. So it's helping take some of that pressure off as well.
Yeah. it's pretty sweet. You guys check out what he's doing there. I mean, and then like we talked about, get yourself some cyber fuel, get that stuff going, and then invest in Matt's company afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. We have a private equity round going on as well at our company, and things are going really well. So
Yeah,
just keep on rolling, just keep on trucking.
keep
As
on
they
rolling,
say.
man. But spread the wealth. A rising tide rises all boats, right? So, and that's what we need. Whether you're looking for a house or looking for building materials, et cetera, that are good, because concrete is one of the biggest polluters on the planet as far as making concrete, right? And I
Right.
don't know if you saw my recent updates and re-releases with Eric Law from Urban Machine, but you're talking about if he hits half his goal on half of the material that he can reclaim, lumber, clean lumber, that he's doing at that company. It's 4 million cars a year removed from the road is what it's equal to.
Right. The
Half
equivalent.
of half of what he wants to do.
Right. Absolutely.
Crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
There's awesome technologies coming into play. You and I are working in fuel and emissions reduction as well as plastics waste reduction. But
Right on.
there are a lot of things hitting the market and coming online and that are actually helping companies make more money, save more money, as well.
Sure.
So, absolutely. Yeah. And then you told me about this dead EV batteries recycling.
Yeah.
Very
Right.
interesting story. Yeah.
Right. I'm reading it because I get Reuters, I get all that kind of stuff because I'm always looking for the latest news and stuff like that. I'm putting on my stuff daily, and you and I are talking all the time. And EVs, brother. So in the Inflation Reduction Act, the IRA, not that IRA, the Inflation Reduction Act,
Yes.
that didn't have anything to do with inflation. But regardless, the Inflation Reduction Act, there is a clause in there, my friend, that has been discovered and hidden. But what it does is it means this, and let me make sure I get this right. The recycled materials from EV batteries that are recycled in the United States, the recycling happens in the United States, are now considered US made.
Right.
And with that, enjoy all the subsidies and benefits that you get with US made, regardless of where the EV battery came from. So if the recycling takes place in the United States, regardless of where those materials came from, those materials now are considered US made, and you get all the subsidies and all the other enjoyments and all the other benefits that you can enjoy from that moniker on those materials. And it's significant, right? I mean, it's pretty cool. It's a little bit telling because I always follow the money and I'm always suspect on why things are there. I like to find out why they're there. I don't think that it was put there just, for the hell of it. I think things get put in and are thought of because somebody has a vested stake in it. And I do not believe that all the automakers, et cetera, are 100% altruistic and just care about the environment. That being said, a lot of them do, but there's got to be money behind it because people like you and I also need to have an income, and we want to invest in these companies and make money off them, right? I mean, it's the whole economy, and that's not a bad thing as long as we do it in an environmentally conscious way. But what it's doing now is now you've got companies that are getting $375 million, a Canadian company, to build an EV battery recycling facility in New York. What I say, Redwood Materials is getting like $1 billion or $2 billion to build one in Nevada. EV and automakers are scrambling to get these things and do this stuff. But here's the other thing that happens is those EVs, those batteries, were being exported and recycled and export. So now that is being disrupted a bit. So it's hard. Where is this going to take it? Are those raw materials now going to skyrocket in price? Or what is the shakeout from all of this is kind of It may not all be positive is all I got to say, right? There's always
Yeah,
those unintended.
it'll affect people in different ways, right? And
Yeah.
economies,
Yeah.
countries, people for sure. But there's only so much rare earth minerals, right? So you're probably going to end up having to recycle at some point if you're going EV.
Yeah, that's what you and I were talking about. It almost doesn't seem like there should be enough EVs out there that we already have a problem recycling the batteries. You know what I mean? How long have they been, right?
Right.
But apparently they've been around a little bit longer than I mean, it's certainly not around. I see some and I hear people get them. I hear more about people turning back in their EV truck than buying one and being happy with it. That's what I've heard, not commercial residential type of trucks, right? And you see the struggles on all the other ones. But
Right.
yeah, I don't know. I'll tell you this. One of the reasons that it's there is okay, so what I'm doing with plastics, right? I'm trying to help the industry because industry does not want to continue to make virgin plastics, right? But they have to make sure that that ketchup bottle works when Andy squirts his ketchup on his hot dog, which if he was from Chicago, he would never do because you don't do that. You put mustard on a hot dog. You don't put ketchup on a hot dog. But Andy likes ketchup on his hot dog. So you see what I'm saying? They have to have a certain amount of virgin and they have to go do that because they have to build the products and they have to meet the consumer's demand for the quality and the price point, right? So until we get more plastics flowing through that are recycled, it's going to be a struggle. And that's what we're trying to do is do that to wean them off of virgin, which they would gladly do if they could get more plastics, right? That's what we're trying to do. Here's a different situation. You can't just make more cobalt. You can't. You can't just make more lithium. And there's limited reserves of it. And where those reserves are not exactly the most friendly places to the United States.
Right. Yep.
So there's other motivations there that are like, not that it makes it bad. It's just, okay, now you're starting to get the idea of what is going on here and why this type of industry and this move towards this energy powering millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of vehicles is not exactly thought of as what's going to be the outcome from people like myself and you and other people. It's not going to be the sole solution. It can't be. You're already seeing they're trying to set up because the raw materials to make it happen are just not there in the abundance that we need them to be.
Right. And you don't want to be dependent on millions of your trucks going down the road from supplies that are coming from another country that is kind of got you in a stranglehold. If they say, well, we're done with that, so yeah, we better figure out ways to have power here and be ready for that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we just went through that with COVID, right? I mean, maybe it wasn't intentional, but I do believe there were a few things that were done that said, hey, well, I can shut off the valve anytime I want.
Right,
type of thing, right?
Yeah.
That were a little bit of saber rattling, I guess is what you call it.
Yeah. Supply chains were very much interrupted in various ways, as everybody knows about. Could not get a new car hardly to save your life because of various supply partners. Well, we just didn't have them, So
yeah, didn't have
it was interesting to watch all that. Absolutely.
So if you buy a car and you're going towards that thing and you're a fleet owner and you're going towards the EVs, et cetera, and betting on that, it's still a bet, man. I mean, you may get better odds than you do playing craps or blackjack or something like that at Vegas, but you're still betting, right? It's like not hedging your fuel if you're a large fleet, right?
Right.
You're betting that you're going to win, but you're going to take it in the shorts every once in a while, right? But you don't have to be betting on that right now. You can be waiting for that technology and helping for that technology and even testing that technology while you're actually making things greener and saving yourself some money at the same time. That's why we're in business with cyber fuels, right?
Absolutely. Yep. It's happening. We're rolling with fleets all over the place. I've been traveling around, as you know, rolling out fleets, measuring results. And it's coming back average 20% fuel economy improvement. We have a study all the way up to 30%, which was unheard of before. But, reduce your fuel spend by 10 to 20%. basically, while burning cleaner and emitting less, So yeah, it's fun. It's exciting times for sure.
When have you ever like gone into something going, well, let's see, absolute worst case scenario, I still kick ass.
Yeah, I would like more of those in my business life. Like,
Yeah, right.
here you go. Here's a golden ticket to the chocolate factory, and there is no downside. You can't get kicked out,
Yeah,
but here you go.
that's right. Just don't steal the fizzy lifting drink, my friend.
That's right. Exactly. Don't go there. Oh man, we even got a Wonka's factory reference in today. I love it.
I do too. It's awesome, man.
Oh man. Well, obviously there's a lot of things happening in the sustainability world. A lot of cool things happening. I love stories like this and what's going on with you guys, what's going on with OPT. Again, congratulations on that stuff. That's awesome.
Well, thank you, brother. We're making strides. This is the point where really I couldn't wait for to get to is that point where I can say, listen, I'm done talking. I'm done sending you videos of our machines operating all over Africa and changing people's lives there. Here's one now in the USA. Boom, we're going to change lives because now we have a major plastics manufacturer 11 miles away from where we're sitting right now that can draw recycled plastics directly from source right here in Chattanooga, send it 11 miles away and turn it into product instead of creating virgin and instead of our recycled not going anywhere or getting burned or going into landfill. It can go right there and not travel halfway around the world or across the United States, wherever it has to go. It gets processed here and used right here. That's the goal.
Absolutely.
That's what's happening.
That is awesome. Absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. Well, I love it. We've got more fun things to talk about in the weeks ahead. I know for sure.
Oh yeah.
And but that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for watching or listening, everybody, and we will see you again soon. Take care.
Right on. Peace and love.